Wake up, Tenno. It is time, Tenno. Incoming audio transmission. Transmission received.
Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of the Warframe Digest, episode 10. Today we'll be covering livestream 28 and all of its affiliated questions. This was a very interesting livestream. I say that a lot, don't I? I'm sorry. But yeah, this was very interesting, because normally when they cover something like the moderators or the UI team or something like that, pretty much something that aren't the main 4 devs, things kind of get a little bland. But this time, it wasn't so bland. So let's get started with this. Some of the interesting things that the sound team, the audio team, addressed was the desire for faction-specific sounds, pretty much distinguishing all the enemies by factions and making them sound unique and interesting throughout the game. It's very nice. Some of them do sound individually different, but I can see where their concerns may be. It's very interesting to be seeing that they want to do specific themes for each faction, specific sounds, new ambience, new sound effects, new ways of doing sounds, and I don't know, it may help the game overall in just the ambience and the immersion. The sound team showed off a sample of the new system that they're trying to use, which will make pretty much music in the game. You go from environmental music to battle music to menacing music, pretty much on the flow. It'll be a new system that'll make it sound very organic, very natural. Instead of just jumping from one song to the other and seeing extreme changes, it'll basically escalate as the situation changes overall. And they showed a couple of audio samples, and I'll play them now. This method of doing audio is nothing new, but it's new to DE, and it may be new to the game very soon. They said that most of these changes will be coming in Update 14, the next big update, and that's rather soon, in all honesty. But then again, we're not done with 13, it's still relatively new, so that is still a ways to go. Another thing that they said also, last time, was the Kubrow, or the Kubrow. That'll be coming out in Update 14 as well, and this time they showed us some audio of how it's gonna sound, and it's the same recycled animation, but with the audio, it just sounds gruesome. The sound effects for the Kubrow seems to be mixed up and comprised of different noises. One of the noises is that of a dog mixed with a lion, so it's a dog-lion mix, as well as a human voice in there to give it some sort of normality, some sort of eerie feel to the growl. That's very interesting that they're throwing this combination into the Kubrow, and I don't know what I expected. I think with its fluffy llama wombat nature, I was expecting something higher pitch? I don't know. The audio team also talked about a couple miscellaneous things that they're considering or that they may be finishing up. One of them was an official soundtrack for Warframe. Yes, an official soundtrack, an OST, for some of you interested in actually obtaining the songs completely without having to do something in-game and try to get it out. I know I did that. But still, an official soundtrack is very well deserved. The game has some beautiful music, it has some very interesting tones, and a lot of us, especially people that make videos, would actually like it as background music for specific scenes or something like that, so we can just edit out the whole entire audio of the music in-game and then just add it in post-production. The composer for the official soundtrack is the very same person that did the Dark Sector's soundtrack. So for all the Dark Sector fans out there, it's very nostalgic and it feels close to home. And I'm looking forward to that. Another miscellaneous thing that they were considering was the Corpus AI ship. The AI ship in its earlier days had a Corpus AI, which was that voice that would ping over the radio that was very resembling to that of the Lotus. I think they removed it because of the similarities, but a lot of people actually liked it. I think it's still in there, I'm not sure after hearing so much combat. I think I may have toned it out. But it was a ship that would say pretty much safety tips, like the guardrails are there for your safety, or there's an intruder in the ship or in sector, whatever. And I don't know, it was a very nice little background detail that they're reconsidering, re-implementing and expanding upon in the future, which it's a nice change for the game. Another thing that they also were talking about was the UI. They're going to go in and redesign all the sound effects for the UI element. It may be a small detail, some of you may not really care, but some of you may. I think that the UI does deserve a bit more interesting noises to make it flow better. And talking about sound effects to make things flow better, they talked about the upcoming Infested tile, and they showed off a couple new noises for the Infested. They sound kind of more creepy, more ominous, more haunting. Some people resemble it to that of Dead Space 3, or the Dead Space series overall, and I kind of like it. It's more terrifying overall. The most recent sound effect that the Infested got was the Ancients, and that's terrifying as it is if you get to hear it. And changing them all to make it equally as horrifying is very, very good. They also presented a couple samples of the new Infested, and I will be playing them as follows as well, for you people to listen and give your own opinions on. And again, most of these goals are set for update 14, so they're not that far off, they're not that close by, they're pretty much set. We just don't know when that set date is, or if there even is one yet. So look forward to these changes in the near future, and remember, take it easy, have fun, and see you guys in game.